van Rooyen, can you hear me?
Morning,
Councillor,
Speaker. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Will you do us the honor to opening with a prayer, please?
That is no problem, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Yes, can everybody close their eyes? Let us start. Goeie Hemelse Vader, baie dankie vir 'n pragtige dag. Kan ek oë oopmaak? Dankie vir counselors wat hulle werk doen. Dankie vir gesondheidswerkers en dokters wat die pandemie hanteer. En ek dink vanoggend aan al die mense wat hulle families en vriende verloor het. Laat ons maar na hart dra. Die virus is real, die virus is devastating. So ons vra leiding, ons vra wysheid. In naam, amen. Baie dankie.
Thank you, Councillor. Okay, Councillor, maybe you wasn't here. Not that you wasn't here, you couldn't come in. But on the virtual, everything is English. So, but thank
Okay,
you
thank
for
you
that.
so much.
Then we can start. And I want to wish all the mayor, the MM, welcome by this morning's council meeting. But I want to, before we go to point number 2, I want to deal with you that our agenda, we will, before we go to minutes for notification, we will go to the confidential item. The rules of order give me the power to do that, so I just want to share that with you. Is that fine? Then we can continue. Then we go to C2. That's not necessary today. I am still here, well and alive. And then we go to point C3, and councillors, please, I urge you, I beg of you, if there's any indirect interest by councillors or officials, please see that it gets to the admin office. Please, councillor, you know we have to do that. There's 2 forms, one for each month and one for the year. Please see that you do that and give it to the admin officers. Then there's point number 4. That's application for leave of absence. I'm going to give that to the Chief Whip. Mr. Whip, are you there?
Good morning, Speaker. Good morning, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Councillors, Municipal Manager, and all the officials. Speaker, we have received apology from Councillor Kalipa, who is still off sick. Then this morning, Councillor Pelisa phoned and submitted an apology for Councillor Boy and Councillor Bushwana. And no other apology was submitted except those 3. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Whip. Can I just make sure that it must be in writing? I hope you told them that the apologies must be
them that
your office.
Speaker, I did tell Councillor Pelisa that as well. The only person which I know that was sick during last week still was Councillor Kalipa in the previous meeting as well. The other 2 councillors just informed me through Councillor Pelisa this morning. So I informed her that it needs to be in writing. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Chief Whip. Then we can continue to see C5, statement and communication by the Mayor, the Honourable Mayor, the Honourable Deputy Mayor, the Honourable Mayoral Committee members, Honourable Chief Whip and members of Council, Municipal Manager, Executive Directors of the different departments, officials of the different departments. I would like to congratulate the following councillor who celebrated his birthday. That was June month the 9th. It was Councillor Sitwell Makazana. I hope you enjoy the day with your family, friends and colleagues. We all wish you all the blessings for the year and the road ahead. And then I want to reiterate again, if there are still outstanding declaration forms, councillors, I request to submit the fully completed form to the administration as soon as possible for the attention of Ms. I. Willemse. Councillors, I know the mayor and the MM will talk about it. I would really like to reiterate, please be safe. Do the necessary precautions. Wash your hands more regularly. Wear your mask and stay safe. We are all at risk and no one is immune against this coronavirus. I thank you. Then we are on C.6, statement and communication by the Executive Mayor. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have no comments today. Everything was dealt with in the situation report, except that I'd also like to echo your words and also the words of Councillor van Rooyen during his prayer to say, fellow councillors, please be vigilant, be safe. We are actually in the peak season now in the Western Cape. Yeah, I echo what the speaker has said. Do everything that you can to look after yourself and also after your families and your communities. And thank you for being sterling public representatives still in our communities. Thank you, councillors.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Then we are on C7, consideration of motions. Mr. MM.
Madam Mayor, I haven't received any in terms of C7, C8 and C9, but you can just indicate when you would allow me to make a few comments regarding the COVID-19 pandemic and the response.
Okay, thank you, Mr. MM. Then we are on C10, confirmation of the minutes of the council meeting held on Thursday, 26 May 2020. It's attached.
Madam Speaker.
Yeah,
Yes, Deputy.
I confirm the minutes reading the 28th of May. Thank you.
Second at Councillor Florence, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Florence, your sound, there must be something wrong with your sound. Then we can move on. Then we are on point 10C2, report by the MM of the action minutes of the council meeting Thursday 28 May, and I would ask then the MM if he would like to say something about in his action minutes about COVID-19. Mr. MM.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, yes, I can confirm that all actions have been attended to as part of the minutes of the meeting of 28th. Madam Mayor, Madam Speaker, councillors and colleagues, I wouldn't like to keep you up because you, as Madam Mayor referred to, you received the update of the situation report of the situation within the broader Cape Winelands, and at any time you are welcome to request any information regarding the report. But I think since we have last met, the Cape Winelands is officially a hotspot, and I would perhaps just like to share some information in terms of what that means and how it works. So for the Cape Winelands to be a hotspot, you need, in terms of the definition, more than 5 active cases per 100,000 of population. So we pass that means test, if I may call it very easily, in terms of our caseload currently. So in terms of the approach of the Western Cape government to address the hotspot and a strategy for the hotspot, each district has been, the cabinet of the Western Cape deployed a MEC, a minister, a provincial minister, and HOD to each district. And in the case of Cape Winelands, the deployed MEC minister is Minister Ivan Meyer, Minister of Agriculture of the Western Cape, and his HOD, Dr. Mogale Sebupatse, And then joining them in the leadership team is our own mayor, Mayor von Schlicht, and then myself. I'm then also part of the management team. And the team is then comprised of a multi-sectoral team of all relevant departments and the local municipalities. The departments are health, public works, and social development, um, education, community safety are all part. So just to give you the approach to this, Karina, is it possible that I can share my screen? If I could just share the slide to show the approach that is being followed by the department, by the government for this. Can you see the screen?
No. There's it now. Thank you, Mr. MM.
So in terms of the approach to that is the intervention are grouped into 6 thematic areas. And the one is case management, and that is being led by the Department of Health. And coupled to that is then is also quarantine and isolation sites, and that is being led and dealt with by the Department of Public Works. The other parts to it is then how do we slow the spread and actions to inform that. Humanitarian relief and food security, civil compliance, and economic recovery. So those are the thematic areas for intervention. The leadership team meets every Wednesday and report to the provincial cabinet every Friday on the actions taken. So Karina, just to show that is the thematic areas that are being dealt with as part of it. And then, I also inform economic recovery as part of that. So Karina, you can take back control. I am just, that's all that I wanted to say about that part. And to show council what it is. So that is the approach, and that is how we will deal then with the spread and try to slow the spread of the virus. And as I've mentioned, it is a multi-sectoral team which are being led in by the minister and the mayor. On the other side, in terms of the institutional arrangements of our organization, currently or from the beginning, we have the essential workers, that is municipal health, disaster management, and fire services that have been active, never been in lockdown, never been away from the workplace. And we're talking about more or less 125 colleagues that have been part of that meeting, or of that group of people going into work on a daily basis. We have then we have oh sorry.
Mr. MM, can you just hold on? There's a voice of children in the background. Please, councillors, we only had once a month meeting. Would you please see that there's no sound in your room where you're sitting for your virtual meeting? Thank you, Mr. MM. You can continue.
Thank you. So that's about 125 people. Then we have just over 50 employees working remotely on a daily basis, working remotely, and they have all been equipped to work remotely. Then also we have currently on a weekly basis anything between 20 and 25 of our road employees going in and doing maintenance work. The blading program in particular has commenced, and but also with some challenges. So we are also looking into that, and then intermittently there are employees at the office as part of whatever the needs are at a particular stage, but also in terms of the operations where we're entering year-end processes, financial year-end processes at 30th of June. A lot of the finance and admin staff are also being back at work intermittently. We do have our workplace plan developed in terms of the Occupational Health and Safety Act, and we're sharing it with the unions this week. By tomorrow, we will share this plan for further input, but we are implementing the protocols already established and announced as part of the Occupational Health and Safety Directives. I can share that to date, we have had one positive case in the employment of the municipality of one person, and we have dealt with it accordingly, protocols as developed and announced by Department of Health. Every time that we even have news of information of a contact, we do immediately close the office. We follow a very cautious approach, and then decontaminate the office, close the office for a period, decontaminate, and then allow employees to return to work. So we have appointed a compliance officer, and the compliance officer is currently looking at certain processes in conjunction with human resource management, particularly occupational health and safety, and putting some measures in place and control measures in place for us to comply with all the regulations. And that is for a later return of all the workers when they do need to return. What we are trying to do is that one time or another we will have to be in full return mode, because as many of the scientists and are saying is we need to try to live with the virus, and we need to adapt and amend our behavior to live with the virus. Madam Speaker, that is what I would like to share with Council at this stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. MM.
Speaker,
I would like to say thank you to you, the MM, all the officials involved with this COVID-19. And now it's not easy for each one of us, but they don't establish. Thank you for putting on WhatsApp each day so we know what's going on in the violence of COVID-19. Then we move on to C3, confirmation of the minutes of the special council meeting held Tuesday, 11th of June 2020.
Speaker, your sound is very unclear. Can you try something, please, Speaker? We can't hear.
Can you hear me now, Madam Mayor?
Perfectly fine, thanks.
Then we are on C13.
sorry,
Confirmation.
Speaker.
Who's speaking?
Alderman,
Alderman Steerman.
yeah. Speaker, on the there's another disturbance on while I'm speaking.
I can hear it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not from my side. Speaker, on the input of the MM, I think one must agree with you that we must give our thanks to himself and the mayor, because we receive reports on a daily basis. There's only one question that I need to ask. If we notice the current statistics in Cape Winelands, it seems that all the municipalities, there's a current spike, a second wave that is happening, and it is actually making us very scared. So maybe if the MM and the mayor can just tell us what extra plans do they have to assist? Because I've noticed that wherever I move, that children are playing in the streets, contact rugby, and it seems that the urgency of our situation is not clear. It's not carried through. Just report on that, because I'm a bit worried as an individual councillor, but also as a member of our community. So that is my current problem of worry at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Mr. MM, will you respond
Thank
on
you.
that?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Alderman Skierman. Alderman Skierman, you're very right. And if I need to differ with you, perhaps it's not a second wave, not a second spike, if I may call it that. I think we're still nearing the peak of our first sort of wave, if I may call it that. So what we're seeing is what has been actually been projected, but it's at a quicker pace, if I may say. So this is still the first wave, and we're nearing the peak of the first wave. We are very much aware, and you raise a very valid point in terms of, let's call it civil compliance. I wouldn't want to go into the negative. We are urgently looking at and has been all along, in how do we address civil compliance. And as many of the commentators have said, it is not the virus that are moving, people are moving, and that is the way that the virus is spread. And so we need to address it, and we try to address it. Unfortunately, we need to see behavioral change, and our actions are focused on how do we change behavior. The messaging that we have increased, and we have upped the game in terms of messaging through various communication means, whether it's pamphlet drops, whether it's loud hailing, whether it's radio, and we are constantly using voices from the communities. We are also a particular program on using the voices of those that have actually healed from COVID, and we are using them to be our positive voices in fighting the spread. So we are. The next phase we are looking at is to go via lampposts, because people are moving, and to have a visual again within our communities with some of the messaging. And then is also, how do we utilize the network of NGOs, CBOs, and councillors where you live to assist us as leadership in spreading the message of wash your hands, wear your mask, keep your distance, and stay at home if you can. And that is all that we can do, and that we're trying to do. We are having this afternoon in the district JOC a special meeting of the safety and security cluster, all the municipalities, to just again discuss the matter of civil compliance, and how do we ensure. But we do not want a punitive approach, Alderman, you would understand, because it's not necessarily the right thing to do. We are continuously looking, how do we use the carrot and not the stick, and I think that is what we are trying to do. Thank you, Alderman.
Thank you, Mr. MM. Maya, your hand was up. Madam Maya.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm completely and fully covered by what the MM has shared with councillors. Just to reiterate again, the importance of all of us as public representatives to be very clear in our messaging in our communities, to please do not move unless it is absolutely necessary, to stay put, because it is, as the MU has said, it is because of movement that we have this spread. We are fully aware of all the challenges. There are challenges, a big challenge is the taxis. They do not necessarily comply with the number of people they transport, but as Em has also indicated, we are working on this constantly, and they will certainly address this this afternoon in the JOC. Also, there's also not our function, but there's also a lot of emotions and fear going around with regards to schools and the reopening of schools. These are all under serious attention, and people it is discussed. So you will be kept informed as we make any progress. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Councillor Klaas, your hand was up. Councillor Moses Klaas, your hand was up.
Thank you, Speaker. I wanted just to add some advice that should be done by the mayor. Because this is a serious pandemic, because some of the police stations here in Paarl are closed and then been open, and then even in Drakenstein. So we would like just them to discuss about overtime, which means they must not just work a normal time, because this thing is serious, is killing. Just as I want just to add to them that they must try to do overtime, because it is bad and crucial for us to see. Even my baby was having COVID-19 positive. So that is why I'm saying that it's very serious. So I would like to advise them that they must do overtime in order to kill this pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. We take note of what you said. Can we move forward? Then we are on 10.3, confirmation of the minutes of the special council meeting held on Thursday, 11th June 2020. Councillors, can you hear me? Councillors?
Yes, Speaker.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, I can confirm. Madam Speaker, I can confirm that those minutes are a true picture of what has happened during the special council meeting.
Madam Speaker, can I second this? Councillor Florence, please? Thank you.
There's somewhere is a problem with you. Is electricity off or somewhere?
Speaker, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now, Councillor.
What can I second?
Yes, Councillor.
What can I second? The proposal by the mayor. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Councillor. Then we move on. A report by the MM, action minutes of the special council meeting held on Thursday, 11th June. Mr. MM.
All matters attended to. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Then we are on point C11, interviews with or presentations by deputations. Any?
None.
Mr. MM. Then we are on C12, urgent matters submitted by the MM.
None.
Then we are on C13, report by the Executive Mayor, Mayoral Committee, meeting held on Tuesday, 19 May 2020.
Madam Speaker, the minutes were circulated of that Maker meeting.
Okay,
Can somebody confirm the integrity thereof?
I confirm Madam Speaker, it's Lukinia speaking.
can we get the...
Yeah, Speaker, second, Councillor Florence. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Then, Councillors, before we go to matters for notification, you remember, by the opening of our council meeting, I said we're first going now to our confidential meeting. That's fine? Can we move to our confidential meeting?
It's fine, Speaker.
Karina, can you just put that up for us? And can we ask
to have the Deputy Mayor to take my place over when I leave at 22:01. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
That's fine with me, Mayor. and go well, travel safe. We're just waiting for the officials.
Madam Speaker, can I
Yes.
just remind you, I was just reminded from the scribes that we have indeed not approved of the confidential minutes. We did so in the case of the ordinary minutes, but we did not deal with the confidential minutes. Can we quickly do that whilst we're still waiting for the administration?
Madam Speaker.
Yes, Councillor.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. When myself reflected back, that now correct. The minute of now the confidential meeting. So can I, Councillor Florence, move that we do accept now the minutes? Thank you.
Thank you.
I second, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam. So we're finished with the confidential meeting now. Is the MME?
Yes.
Councillor Florence, there must be a sound problem on your side.
Maybe my voice is like too sweet, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Ms. Smith, are the MME?
Madam Speaker, the municipal manager is in.
Okay, thank you. Then we are on C13. Matters for notification. Mr. MM? Mr. MM, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Speaker.
We are on matters for notification 14. There's a phone ringing somewhere.
Madam Speaker, item 14.1, 14.2, and 14.3 is all in relation to the municipal minimum competency levels for notification, Madam Speaker.
Okay, then 14.4, status of the draft. The quarterly report of the Cape Wineland District Municipality. Audit Committee Chairperson of the third quarter of 2019-2021.
Madam Speaker, the draft report the portfolio holder will deal with. Councillor Neos.
Councillor Neos.
Thank you, Speaker, and good morning, colleagues. I want to give you just a brief background. The district is in process monitoring a draft. Local municipality will implement a draft investigation necessary in order to ensure water supply. The Disaster Management Act number 57 of 2002 states that disaster management is an interim, multi-social and multidisciplinary process of planning, implementation of measures admitted at it is on page 44 of what I'm reading here in A, B, C, D, and E. Before I go to a recommendation, I want to ask the portfolio, not the portfolio, Mr. Peter Williams, if he can add anything on this report.
Mr. Williams, something
Yes,
that you want to comment on?
yes. Good morning, Madam Speaker, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, as well as to the councillors. Maybe just to add, Speaker, that this drought has been seriously affecting all of the municipalities within the district municipal area. And thus for we at the district management, the disaster management center, we had to coordinate all our efforts and focus on mitigation as well as to activate all our activities around a response to be ready, we can deal with this drought. So, Madam Speaker, just some highlights through the document or the report that we've covered, and we've actually explained and made aware to the councillors what was the implications, as well as the factors that we've had to deal with. And therefore you will see there's even trajectory and even some forecasting when pertaining seasonal raining, as well as how we're going to deal going forward. And just tell us to say, finally, the report deals with water restrictions as it currently stands within all of the municipalities, and that we will continue to monitor specifically the dam levels going forward. Madam Speaker, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. I would like to ask Ms. Ghani, is she on virtual with us? If there's anything that
Yes,
she would
madam.
like to add.
No,
Hello?
ma'am, nothing further. Hi.
Okay, hi. Are you fine, lady?
Yes, I'm fine. Nothing to add, ma'am.
Thank you. Then we can continue. That is only for notification. Then we are
Alderman Speaker, if I just may take the councillors just to the recommendation, the conclusion in Ms. Ghani's office report is that they say that they are satisfied. There were challenges, but that is dealt with and still busy dealing with. So that for now, Ms. Ghani and the team is satisfied. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Then we are now on.
Madam Speaker.
Yes, Councillor Niels.
I was not yet finished because I want to put in a recommendation of the drought report. The council take consensus of the status of the drought in the injunctions area of the Cape Highlands District municipality. Then I will also want to say the following. I know it is going about the drought now. This weekend we will have a big rain that is coming, and that everybody must be safe.
Thank you, councillors. Can we
Madam,
continue? Can we continue?
Speaker, Madam Speaker, can myself second the recommendation by Councillor Luki? Thank you.
Councillors, can I remind you, we're still on the points for notification.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. That is noted.
Can we then move forward? 14.5. 14.5. The quarterly report of the Cape Highlands District Audit Committee Chairperson for the third quarter of the 2019-2020 financial year. And I'm going to ask the portfolio holder if he wants to add something to it. Councillor Van Zyl.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. As you've said, it's only for notification. So if there aren't any questions for clarification, I would move that we just accept this.
Thank
or
you.
Just note it.
I would also ask Ms. Ghani if she wants to comment or say something about this. Ms. Ghani.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, we met on the 15th of May. The report has been circulated to the council members. If there's any questions, I'm prepared to answer them. We conducted our quarterly oversight and overview and governance per our charter, and the report shows you the reports that internal audit provided to us. And then the MM also gave us an oversight on where the municipality is at that point. That was more or less by the lockdown side. And we were comfortable with the actions and steps that were taken by the municipality. We have recently met again, but this report relates to the third quarter. So I will take any questions that anybody may have.
Thank you, Ms. Kani. Can we then continue? We are on 14.6, intentions to amend a contract agreement in terms of section 1163 of the Local Government Municipal Finance Management Act 203, stroke 1, stroke 1, stroke 1. That's also for notification.
Madam Speaker, can I ask through you that Ms. Smith just explain the item to the councillors, please?
Thank you. You may continue.
Madam Speaker, did I hear my name?
Yes, I've asked that you just explain the extension of the contract to councillors, please, Ms. Smith.
I will have to do that with permission from a higher force because this item resort under the Department Technical Services.
So who is the higher?
It's a contract. It's a contract of the Department Technical Services. So Mr. Van Eck can possibly give the background to that.
Is Mr. Van Eck? Can we first ask Councillor Snyders, you want to ask something? Councillor Snyders? Councillor Snyders?
Thank you very much, Speaker. Madam Mayor and councillors and MM and all the other officials. Okay, I'm continuing, Speaker. Speaker, yes, I just want to express my concern regarding the notification of this item. That is only for notification. Firstly, we are dealing with public funds, and the extension of a contract is telling you that someone slept on this contract. That's the reason why the people are asking now for this contract to be extended for a year. It was a 3-year contract, and suddenly now people are asking for extension of that 3-year contract. It's the same way that contracts were extended by Batamile Plamini. And we have lots of rigmaroles and options regarding such things. My submission is, Madam Speaker, is this thing must be changed from notification to consideration. And we consider them because of the money involved and because of no action against the person who slept on this contract. That person was a sleeper. Now we as council must now take note of a sleeper that didn't do his work. It can't work like that, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
Madam Speaker, we cannot hear you. Can Mr. Van Eck continue to give clarity on this item?
Yes, you may continue.
Thank you, Speaker. Unfortunately, Mr. Khabir is the one that has the information on this together with Karina, who had it previously. But he just gave me a notice that his computer gave a glitch and he'll be back shortly. So if we can just keep that up for a second or two while Mr. Khabir is joining us.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Van Eck. Councillors?
Madam Speaker, may I continue in the meantime?
Yes, you may, Mr. MM.
So just in terms of process, Madam Speaker, just to inform that before we can submit to council, we need to advertise in the public if we intend to amend a contract or an agreement. So just to confirm that we have advertised and the advertisement is part of the pack. and we didn't receive any public comment. Further background, Madam Speaker, we are constantly evaluating our systems internally, and so this is part of that. We wouldn't want to enter into a new agreement while we are still also further investigating possibilities in terms of our network and all packages and programs, applications available to us. So what we are requesting Council is to give us another year to assess our internal capacity, to assess what the real need is of the municipality, and to assess all the alternatives available before embarking on a process. So we are requesting Council uh, 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 to consider a 1 year, and that is what we are doing. Otherwise, we won't be having a system in place to join us. But I hope that Mr. Gabir is on the line to further assist.
Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. MM. Maya?
May I move that Council consider to approve this recommendation, please, Madam Speaker?
Speaker.
Alderman Steerman, before you speak, I see this item is also notification.
Speaker.
Yes, Alderman Steerman.
Speaker, if I read it correctly, we are talking about a deviation from a procedure. Council is not supposed to approve procurement. We can only approve a deviation out of the. So I'm a bit confused now. What is the part of deviation?
Alderman Steerman. Councillors, please, this is not our first virtual meeting. Please see wherever you sit. There is order.
Speaker?
You can continue, Alderman Steerman.
Speaker?
I hear you, Alderman Steerman. You can continue.
What I'm asking is that if we look at legislation, Council is not supposed to deal with procurement. If I read it, it's a matter of deviating from the procedure. And I think what should be in front of Council should be about the deviation, to approve the deviation or not to approve.
Speaker?
Yes, you, Mr. MM.
Thank you, Speaker. May I continue?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Thank you, Council. Madam Speaker, this is a supply chain management matter, and it is in terms of the supply chain management policy of the municipality. And as you would rightly know, councillors cannot get involved within the supply chain management process. So what the law dictates in terms of Section 116(3), that we must submit the reasons for the proposed amendment. We can only continue with this contract after we have submitted the reasons for the proposed amendment tabled in the Council of the Municipality, and we have solicited the views of the public, which we have done, and we have received none from the public. So I have indicated to you that we must consider the representation from the public. So the test would be, after all, when the AG comes and evaluate this particular contract and process if we complied with the law, and that is what we say. So thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, this is Councillor Florence. Can I speak?
Councillors, please bear with me because someone in the meeting is muting me. It's not the first time. It's now the third time that I see someone is mute me. Please, councillors. Councillor Snyder's, your hand was up. What's it? Councillor Snyder's?
Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you. My submission is I'm hearing what the MEM is saying. I'm hearing what the MEM is saying about.
Okay, thank you, Councillor. Then I'm going to
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Councillor Florence.
Yes, Councillor Florence, continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Like what I think that the municipal manager was very clear in terms of now the law. He was very clear in terms of the law. So can myself move that we note now the content like of this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Mr. Van Eck, you want to say something?
Speaker, thank you. Maybe just for clarification, can we maybe request Mr. Khabir just to give us a background why this was done? Because we're looking at integrated systems now, and I don't want to go myself into those technicalities, but it is not about voice and data and this and this. So we're looking at integrated systems, and that is the reason. But if you will allow Mr. Khabir to give us background on how, on why this specific process was followed, and not a new process at an earlier stage.
Thank you, Mr. Van Eck. Mr. Khabir, you may continue.
Okay.
Mr. Khabir.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so I didn't quite follow some of the statements that was being made, but this particular issue is the telephony system, and that runs. We have. I'm going to avoid all the technical jargon, but we have, I guess, hardware at all our different sites that allow us to communicate via the telephone. And this system does integrate to other systems as well. So, but it's all related to telephony, so it's not data. Then during the current period, that it's specified quite clearly in the document that you guys have as to the procurement reasons of why we did it the way we did. So it's not necessarily a technical reason, if that's what I'm being asked to explain, as in an IT reason. I don't know if that's what you wanted me to explain.
Thank you, Mr. Khabir.
Speaker.
Yes. Yes,
What I was saying is that it's a matter of the policy dictates, and we cannot just take notice of it. It's a matter of there's a deviation from the policy. It means that the procurement process took place, the term have expired, and it's now a matter of a deviation to approve the deviation. And I think that that is how we should deal with it. That there's in front of us is that there's a deviation from the policy, and we must approve it or not. We cannot just take notice of it. That's my point.
Thank you, Alderman Stuurman. Councillors, everybody had their say now. Shall we take now a decision here, please?
Madam Speaker?
Yes.
I second this recommendation.
This thing is for notification, Speaker. Speaker, this is for notification. It's not for consideration. This thing has to change.
Councillor Snyders, I rule you out of order. Your hand wasn't up.
Man was recognize the item must be. It can't. This thing is for notification. It must first change for consideration, and then we can continue.
Councillors, can we accept this as notification?
Yes, Speaker.
Speaker, I'm not trying, and I must now raise a point of order. I'm not trying to be negative. Councillor Snyders is correct. It's a matter of council must give approval that the deviation in front of us must be accepted.
Councillors, Councillor Lukineo, your hands up.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I take away my second, and we take this recommendation forward.
Thank you, councillors. Are you with that? Is that acceptable? Can we move forward? Mayor, Madam Mayor?
Madam Speaker, I hear Alderman Schiemann and Councillor Snyder's concern. Can we just have the MM to respond to that? Is this a deviation? Should we move this to the consideration, or can we just note of this item through you, Madam Speaker, to the MM?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I also want to ask the MM, will this come back again to council? While it
No,
is
Madam.
under additional notification.
Thank you.
Mr. M.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I'm going to request the CFO in terms of the supply chain management policy that she would assist, and then I would follow if necessary. Thank you. Fiona, could you please assist?
Yes, Speaker, through you. Thank you. I maybe just want to reiterate what you already alluded to draw attention to the fact that this is not the application of the supply chain management policy of the municipality. We're referring to section 1163 of the MFMA that relates to the amendment of contracts. So in other words, there's an existing contract with a specific service provider, and due to reasons that Mr. Van Eyck and Mr. Gabir alluded to earlier, decision was made to rather for another year while certain aspects with regard to telephony and all those technical things are being put in place, and obviously a new procurement process to accompany that we continue in the light of continued services. This is now specifically switchboard services, that we continue with this existing contract. It is perhaps also Van Eyck to explain the PABX systems that we currently have installed there, that in view of practicality, that it is not possible to just remove those things and have a new system overnight. It is quite a technical aspect that require a lot of effort and information. But in terms of the process of the MFMA, it is required of the municipality to make known this intention to extend this contract, and that we did. The advertisements that's attached, we made our intention known, and we invited representation from the public to give them an opportunity to say that, do you take note of this? Do you have any representations to make of our intention to extend this contract with the service provider? And to date, we did not receive any representations, assuming that the silence means that they don't have any issues with us to continue with this contract. And those representations, if we would have received some, and now we indicate to you that we did not receive any, we make known to our council in terms of the legislation, so that you can take note of the fact that this is our intention and that there was no representations that we've received. You know, that our intention basically to proceed another year with this specific contract until the new telephony system, which links, I'm speaking under correction, it is not business as usual. We've got fiber options now. Telkom also implemented various things, which is not the normal type of telephone lines, but it's a whole technical expert, a whole technical change that will be implemented. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ran.
Speaker, I cannot just accept, because I've done in the meantime, I've done some research. There are other municipalities that have a similar situation. It's about the powers and functions. I'm not disagreeing with the reasons explained to us, but it cannot be that administration just inform for notification. It means that they come forward and they amend contracts, because the legislation allow for that, but procurement tells you that when a term expires, they must go for the normal tender procedures. But in this case, you are asking for extension. So council must approve the amendment of the contract. It doesn't mean that council decide on the initial contract, but powers lies with council when it comes to deviation of the policy. So if you just take notice, I'll have to put my objection that administration don't have that authority and the power to decide and just give notice to council. Council must approve the amendment. That's the point.
Thank you,
Madam Speaker, can I come in?
I'm not against the explanation. What I'm saying is that when we do our things, do it legally correct.
Thank you, Councillor Steerman. Who was talking just now?
Councillor JJ van Rooyen.
Councillor van Rooyen.
Yes, I've listened to the arguments. And I think the reason why it's before council, because it needs some improvement from council. And I think this item is under the consideration for debate. And it can't be, as Councillor Steelman says, that you can't just notify council. If I look at the MFMA, it says that it must serve before council. So I think they need a council resolution on this to carry on with the amendment and that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Snyders, your hand is up. Councillor Snyders.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Yeah, we are not against the extension of the contract. We know that communication is important and the municipality must phone people on a daily basis. We know the process is wrong. That is our biggest concern. We are in agreement. You can do this thing on a month-to-month basis. Do this thing on a month-to-month basis until you have advertised the tender.
Councillor Snyder.
That will take you through. Thank you very much, Speaker. I've asked you to leave now. Leaving now. Speaker, I ask you to leave. Can I leave?
Yes, you may leave. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillors?
Speaker?
Mayor?
It's Councillor van Rooyen.
No, the mayor's hand was up before you. Mayor?
Okay, thank you.
Speaker, I've listened to all the arguments now. Can the MM please guide us now whether we should move this item to the ones for consideration? That we can continue, please.
Please. Mr. MM, would you please guide us here now?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Ms. Neethling, if you are on the call from the legal perspective, what is your opinion? And Councillor, I'm just asking to ensure, because whatever we do with this resolution also impacts on future resolution when it comes to, let's say, called supply chain matters. So I just need to get clarity from a legal perspective. If I read the recommendation, it says that council should take cognizance of the intention to amend and to continue with this contract that is before you. But let me find out if Ms. Neethling can assist on a legal matter. Ms. Neethling, please.
Ms. Neethling, you can continue.
Speaker, good afternoon, everyone. Through you, I just want to say that section 116.3 clearly states of the MFMA that the contract or agreement procured through the supply chain management policy of the municipality may be amended. It may be amended, but only after the reasons for the proposed amendment have been tabled in the council of the municipality, and the local community has been given reasonable notice of the intention to amend the contract or the agreement, and has been invited to submit representations. So it has now been tabled and it was advertised. So yes, everything has been done that the Act says. So a decision has to be made whether it must now be moved to the consideration or whether it's only for notification.
Thank you, Ms. Neetling. Madam Mayor, your hand was up.
Yeah,
Councillor van Rooyen is.
Councillor van Rooyen was before me, Madam Speaker.
Sorry, Councillor van Rooyen, you may continue.
Yeah, Madam Speaker, I think it's for the purpose of operational efficiency. And I don't know how urgent it is. I think we should just move it to consideration for the legal purposes, because then it becomes a council issue, a council decision. It becomes a council resolution, and it make it legal for implementation. Under a notification, it doesn't carry a council decision should something go wrong. So all I say is that let's move it to consideration, and then we are covered for any legal purposes in that. It is a council resolution.
Thank you, Councillor van Rooyen. Maya, it's your turn now.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. I would also like to go with Councillor van Rooyen to say let's move it, because we have to take a decision today. The current contract expires on 30th of June, so we have to take a decision today. So let's move it and get done with it. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Okay. Councillor Neos, you're going to be the last person to speak on this item. Councillor Neos.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So then I move that we second this for consideration.
Okay, thank you. Is that, councillors, is everybody happy if we move it to consideration?
Agreed, Mayor.
Speaker, I am happy.
Yes, Speaker.
Do you want us to go for a vote? Or is everybody happy with it?
I think everybody's happy with it.
Yeah, we don't need to go for a vote. It's a matter
Okay.
that we agree on the amendment of the contract. As simple as that.
Thank you, Alderman Seerman. Okay, then it's our first item on matters for consideration. That's finished then. We are finished with our matters for notification. Our second item.
Madam Speaker, you are again gone. We can't hear your voice. Can I table this item so long, Madam Speaker? Or can I ask the portfolio holder, Councillor Palesa, through you, Madam Speaker? This is corporate services. Madam Speaker, through you to Councillor Palesa.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'm talking so hard you can't hear me.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
we could not hear you, Madam Speaker.
So, Madam Speaker, I was asking that this is corporate services, that Councillor Palesa table this item for approval, please.
Yes, you may continue.
Thank you, Speaker. Morning, colleagues. We are bringing this item to Council so that Council can grant us permission to extend the timeline for this framework. We are actually asking that Council consider to approve the cascading of the implementation of individual performance management to employees up to task level 13 to be extended from July 2019 to June 2021, which is a year period, 12 months period. And B, we are also asking that the cascading of the implementation of individual performance management to employees from task level 12, T12 to T6 also be extended from July 2021 to June 2024 for a 5-year period. And then the performance management improvement framework and the, sorry?
Continue, Councillor.
Thank you, Speaker. See that the performance management improvement framework and the draft individual performance management project plan be amended accordingly.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Thijs-Blom, your hand is up. Councillor Thijs-Blom. Councillor Blom, your hand was up. Councillor,
Madam Speaker, are you allowing questions for clarity, or can we continue to second the motion?
You can second it, Madam Mayor.
Madam Speaker, before you go for the resolution to be tabled, I just want one question for clarity, please.
Councillor van Rooyen, will you just hold on? I'll come back to you. The mayor was still on speaking. Madam Mayor?
I would like to second, but I cannot do so unless you are done with the questions, Madam Speaker.
Okay, thank you. Councillor van Rooyen, you can continue. Councillor
Yes,
van
Madam
Rooyen.
Speaker. Yeah, Madam Speaker, I just listened to the proposal, or to the what is proposed. My concern is it seems that there's a lot of people appointed in positions, but they haven't got the qualifications and experience now to sign individual performances. My question is that is 5 years enough? Will it be allowed for the employees to get equipped and to be in a position to sign an individual performance contract? What happens if they don't live up to the standards, or don't get the necessary qualifications, and they can't perform? What happens then? Because a period of 5 years is proposed, and especially in the technical field, I don't know whether 5 years will be enough to allow the person to sign an individual performance contract, and then he live up to it. And that, I just want to be clear about that.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Nia.
Oh, no, it's may I respond to the councillor, please, Madam Speaker?
You may.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor van Rooyen, and thank you for the question. Councillor van Rooyen, we really take note of what you are saying, and I think from our side, we will do what we need to do in terms of development, in terms of training, to understand the system and to implement the system. And however, if we come to a point where we have devolved the system and cascaded to a particular level, and we at that point we feel that we're not ready again to go to the next lower level, we would rather come back to you. But we need to put ourselves in a position where we have a due date and a date of completion in order for us to work to. And we wouldn't know if we don't get there. Hence, we ask for the extension only for at this time as we do now.
Thank you, Mr. MM.
Madam Speaker, this item was also served at the MACO committee meeting on the 9th of June, and MACO has also applied their minds. So may I continue now to please second this recommendation, Madam Speaker?
You may continue, Madam Mayor.
I second the motion, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Councillors, can we accept it?
Yes, Mayor. Yes, Speaker.
Thank you.
I'm happy.
Yes. Is that anonymously? We accept it? Matters for consideration?
Yes,
Yes, Madam Speaker, we accept it.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. So then we move to 15.2, Division Fire Service 2019-2020, Field and Fire Assessment.
Madam Speaker, can I continue to bring in?
Councillor Niels.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The recommendation is on page 91, but before I read into the recommendation, the report is on page 92 to 98. I want to thank all our fire staff for our previous fire season 2019 to 2020. They did a great work. We have a lot of bush and mountain fires, and so as you know, fires is make its own wind, and we have a lot of winds when we have big fires. So I want to thank all our firefighters, and I want to thank all our role players. That was our partners, and I want to thank all the B municipalities and all the districts that help us with this fire season from 2019 to 2020. I also want to ask our ED, Mr. P.T. Williams, if you also want to bring in some highlights of this report before I do the recommendation.
Mr. Williams.
Thanks, Councillor Niels. Thanks, Madam Speaker. Just a few highlights to share with Council, because I believe Council did read through the document. To share with Council, this has been a fire season with tremendous challenges, councillors. We could during this period experience the real influence of climate change, and we could also observe, the change in the weather, the patterns and how they influence the changes in the fire behaviors of fires and their patterns also. We were confronted during this period continuously with mountain fires, and at times these fires were out of control, and we had to bring in helicopters and see how we could minimize the spread of the fire. So this field fire season for our service, our fire service, was something out of the norm, and we had to attend during this time to 1,000 in total, more than 1,000 fires across the district municipality, and this was a very stressful period, specifically during the months of February and the months of March this year. Our personnel, however, they could attend to most of the fires, and at times we had to get in assistance from the B municipalities, and as well as external organizations, like for instance the Cape Nature, and we even had to contract in-ground field fire crews to assist us. So, Madam Speaker and councillors, we dealt, as I said, with a very devastating and a destructive fires during the season. And here I wanted to remind you on the Twitchclaw fires, and the last one in Paarl, and even during December, the one in McGregor. It was seriously devastating and destructive. However, which might be a highlight or maybe a positive, is that there was no serious damage to property and no loss of life. In closer, Madam Speaker, you will see that in the report there's even updates. We've signed MOUs with the B municipalities and other institutions, and I want to say thank you for Council for especially the leadership during this period. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Deputy, your hand is up.
Madam Speaker, may I please interrupt? My hand was up a very long time already. May I please excuse myself now, Madam Speaker, for my next meeting, and then I'll ask that the deputy stand in on my behalf going further. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Mayor, go well and be safe.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, can I continue before bring in a consideration before the deputy is speaking?
Yes, you may continue.
Recommendation is on page 91 that Council considered the approved after 2019-2020 fire season assessment report of the Division Fire Services. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Deputy.
Speaker, I have nothing to say, but I will go with the recommendation. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Councillors, can we accept? We had a very broad discussion now. 15.2.
Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I'm happy.
Yes, are you happy? Can we accept?
Speaker.
Is that anonymously? Yes.
Speaker, I will move that we accept, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillors, everyone is happy that we accept. Then we go to...
Yes, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Landu. 15.33, Department Technical Service, reviewed the Cape Winelands District Municipality and Corporate Governance Framework Policy. And I think that is Councillor Palesa.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker.
Continue.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the Cape Winelands Corporate Governance for ICT Policy provides the political and executive leadership with a set of principles and practices that must be complied to, together with the implementation approach to be utilized for corporate governance of ICT within the Cape Winelands District Municipality. Corporate governance of ICT composes two levels of decision-making, authority and accountability to satisfy expectations of all stakeholders. The implementation of the corporate governance for ICT policy will allow well-defined phase approach that meets the goals of the Cape Winelands municipality and the audit requirements of the Auditor General. The successful implementation of the corporate governance of ICT system leads to continuous improvement in the creation of value of the municipality. ICT delivery must be assessed on an ongoing basis to identify gaps between what was accepted and what was realized.
Thank you, Councillor.
I'm just going to the recommendation, Madam Speaker. Can I get the recommendation on the screen, please? I would like to propose that Council... Kan die skerm 'n bietjie afkom? Thank you. The recommendation is that I would like to propose that Council consider to approve the reviewed Cape Winelands District Municipality Corporate Governance Framework Policy for Information and Communication Technology. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Palesa. Are there any questions?
If not, Speaker, I will second it.
Who's speaking?
Karinus.
Karinus. Councillor, no questions? No debate? Is that unanimously?
Yes, I'm happy.
Thank you. Then we're going to 15.4. Review. Yes.
Okay, sorry.
15.4.
Madam Speaker, Councillor van Zyl, may I put this on the table for the Council?
Yes, you may continue.
Thank you. This is a review of the Cwdm's Integrated Transport Plan. Assessment of the functionality of the existing registered minibus taxi routes in Drakensberg municipal area and subsequent restructuring and rationalization of the routes. I move, Madam Speaker, that this is open for discussion. You'll see the recommendation by the MM is on page 123. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Kubus. Councillors, any questions? Can we get a seconder? If there's no question.
Second, Mayor. Speaker.
Councillor Karinus. Council, can we accept it unanimously?
Yes,
Yes,
Speaker.
Speaker.
Yes,
Thank you.
Speaker.
Thank you very much. That brings us to the conclusion of our council meeting for today. I think each and every one of you, but I had to bring your, Karina, talk to you just now. I had to bring your attention to, please, guys, this is our, I think, our 4th virtual meeting. Don't mute me. There's some of the councillors that mute me. And then the mayor said she can't hear me. And please, when we in council meeting, that's only once a month, that you sit where you can talk and debate around the issues on the agenda. Yes,
Speaker.
Karina?
Madam Speaker, a revised agenda was circulated with the addition of items 5.5 and 5.6. 15.5 and 15.6. The irrecoverable debt and the consideration of recoverability of irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure.
Just hold, Karina. Councillors, have you received it?
Speaker.
Yes.
Yeah, we all received it because we discussed it yesterday in our caucus meeting.
Yes, I know. I just want to know, did every councillor received it?
Okay, thank you, Speaker.
Recoverable debt to be written off. Councillors, please. Deputy, you may continue.
Speaker, maybe we can ask the chairperson of the MPAC to give us some guidance on that one, please.
Speaker, MM, may I come in?
Yes, you may.
Speaker, thank you, Deputy. Unfortunately, the impact convened, but we didn't have a quorum, hence the matter being served before council now. Thank you.
In that case, I will ask Ms. Ghani, is she still here?
Yes,
No,
ma'am,
no,
I
no.
am.
No, madam, you can, Speaker, you cannot put Ms. Ghani in this position. Sorry for apologies for interrupting.
No problem.
Ms. Ghani is here in a different capacity. We can perhaps request that either Councillor van Zyl just introduces the matter, and then between Ms. Duran Groenewald, the CFO, and myself, we could then speak to the matter further. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. I lost the sound for some time. At what point are we now?
We are on 15.5, irrecoverable debt to be written off.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. If I may, thank you to the MM too. This is all about the irrecoverable debt to be written off. And this has everything to do with fire services rendered by the Cwdm. The matter is open for discussion, and the recommendation you'll find on page 134. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Councillors?
Madam Speaker.
Yes, Alderman Steerman.
If all our memories serves them well, we had last year, we had a very, very similar debate.
The same one every year.
Yeah, So my point is, we cannot allow this to continue. We cannot say that if people that own properties, that they cannot be reached. So my belief is that this matter must go back to the impact committee and also the auditors or even the audit committee, that we consider that. Because there's something drastically wrong that every year we have the similar situation. I think that this matter must be discussed in a committee and fully considered. We cannot just write off, because there's this tendency now that we know and we expect every year we are rendering firefighting services. Our people, where last year we had a report where some of our workers, they died in accidents. So I think that this is a very serious matter, and it's just not a matter that we can write it off.
Thank you, Alderman Steerman. Can I see Councillor De Tooit's hand is up?
Van Rooyen.
Councillor De Tooit's hand. Councillor De Tooit.
Thank you, Speaker. Yes. Thank you for the opportunity, Speaker. I just want to say, if you read through the item, we say it's a debt written off, but in the item it states clearly that the administration is moving forward, trying to get the monies in. So even if we do it at council, the administration is going forward to try and get the monies in. So I would really say we vote this in and say yes, it's irrecoverable, but let's move on.
Madam Speaker, JJ van Rooyen.
Yes, Councillor van Rooyen. Councillor Rosette, can you just let your hand put off? Councillor van Rooyen.
Yeah, Madam Speaker, I have a problem with the issue of not recovering, because on that list is a few companies in the Robertson area, which are operational, and I found it very strange that they can't be reached or they can't be contacted. And that the issue is I agree with Councillor Steelman. This serves every year before council the bad debts of the letting off of debts after we provide the service. We have argued last time in council about we haven't got any money to put the workers to fight the fires in a group scheme, but we have money to write off the debt after we provide the service and save lives and we save property. So the issue is here is that I think this matter must go to MPEC again, refer it back, so that we can have a thorough discussion and as I said, a few of the companies is in the offices is in Robertson, and this irrecoverable story doesn't make sense to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor van Rooyen. Councillor Rosette, your hand is up again.
Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to say, we try to have 2 impact meetings, and it's like the MM said, there was no quorum on both meetings, and but I did read through it, and the district will try and recover this money. It's not just written off.
Thank you. Then Deputy.
Speaker.
Yes.
Ek gaan om my moedertaal praat, Speaker. Ons kan nie hierdie item terugverwys nie. Want daar was soos die raadlid, die vorige raadlid gesê, daar was 2 keer probeer om hierdie impact vergadering bymekaar te kry. Ons moet ongelukkig vandag 'n besluit neem op hierdie punt. Speaker. Ons kan hom nie terugverwys nie. Dankie, Speaker.
Speaker, it's the MM. May I just come in again, please?
Yes. Mr. MM,
Thank you.
continue.
Thank you. Speaker, I would just like to reiterate what Councillor De Tooy is saying. We are writing off in terms of the accounting principle within the books of the council. However, we are continuing to recover in terms of a legal process. We are not leaving these accounts not being attended to and being worked on. So we will continue to do that. It is just for accounting purposes. And if you read the recommendation, that's what the recommendation request of council is, to write off. However, that the process of recovery, the total that we hand over for the total amount for the collection by the collection attorney, and that is what we've been doing. So just to emphasize that particular point as part of the recommendation. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Mr.
Speaker.
MM. Yes.
Speaker, can for us the recommendation on the screen, please?
Is that the voorstel, Deputy?
I'm asking that she put for us the recommendation on the screen.
Okay.
On this point. Thank you.
Can you put the recommendation on the screen, please?
Karina,
Speaker, I will
Russell, just one back, one back. Go to the original one because the impact person is not here. Yes, here we go. There we go. That one.
Speaker.
Yes. Yes,
Speaker. I will then move that we accept the recommendation.
Deputy, can I come back to you? I just want to hear what the MA want to say. Mr. MM?
Oh, it's not. It's Alderman Skierman.
Oh, Alderman Skierman.
Speaker, there's a history of this item, and every year it's a repetition. If I read the explanations saying under what conditions can that be written off, then it's clear there are people on that list that does not qualify to be written off. If you talk about untraceable, administrative error, deceased estate, cost to recover, all the reasons that is put in front of us, there are many of them that does not qualify. As far as the impact meeting is concerned, council has got the full right. Any committee of council that is not functioning, that is non-functioning, is to reconstitute that committee. So what I'm saying is that 12 months have passed. 12 months later, we have a similar item, a similar situation. And at the end of the day, we just write off. And the moment when a debtor realizes that every year the debt is going to be written off, it means that they won't make any effort to pay. What I'm saying is that we are rendering a very, very dangerous service where people are under due stress and sometimes they lose their life in rendering that service. Those people that got the benefit of the service, we walk away and we write it off. What about those people that are actually paying? So as far as this item is concerned, there's no way that from the ANC side that we can just say we approve this. We cannot.
Thank you, Councillor.
Speaker. Speaker.
Yes, who's now? Whose hand is up?
Councillor Sambogo speaking.
Yes, Councillor.
Speaker, I think that I fully agree with my colleagues about the item. And if there is any problem within the MPEC, we must be told as council. And I should think that we were supposed to get a report back about what happened about the last year, the financial year, what happened about these people that didn't want to pay? What happened about them? We're supposed to get a report, but I fully agree with Comrade Skierman and Councillor Van Rooyen. We cannot support this to the ANC because it's a repetition of same thing, repeating same thing. Thanks, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor. Mr. MM.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in the item, we state that the amount that has been recovered from 2017, 2018 up until now, 360,000 rand, 147 was recovered, while 99,000 remain outstanding. So what I'm trying to say is just that is a proof that we are recovering. We continue with the recovering. Just to answer the Councillor Sambokwe that just spoke, yes, that we are recovering. There is, we report on what has been recovered in the last couple of years. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. MM. Councillor Moses, Klaas. Councillor Klaas.
Thank you, Speaker. I want first to hear from the MM that is in an urgent matter, this one, or if it's not an urgent matter, why it doesn't allow that to be discussed thoroughly? Because according to the explanation of the councillors, that the impact, even it didn't meet, and I didn't know why even the MM didn't explain the reason why the impact didn't meet, because it's supposed being a report from the chairman or from the council that the reason why these people must be recover. So the question, my question on MM is that are the MM can open or agree that this matter to be postponed and being discussed for a special meeting, because it is not possible that these people being recover, but the situation is not right for the council meeting. Thank you.
Thank
Speaker,
you.
may I?
Speaker. Yes.
Thank you. Speaker, just to again, yes, the Councillor Klaas, the impact didn't meet because the impact couldn't correct on both those meetings. That's the reason why we couldn't proceed with the meeting. And it is, if I say not urgent, but urgent in the sense we are entering year-end processes, year-end financial year-end. Hence the request to do it. We normally do it this time of the year. Alderman Skierman is correct. We normally do it this time of the year as part of the year-end processes, so that we could finalize our financial statements as part of the year-end processes. So that is the reason why we get to council this time of the year. So thank you, Speaker. If colleague Fiona could just come in if there's anything else that you would like to perhaps just from my side also inform council of.
Speaker.
Yes, Councillor, let me just hear what Ms. Fiona have to say, and I'll come back to you. You will be the last one. Ms. Fiona,
Okay.
can you just hold on? I just want to listen to Thijs Blom's hand is up a long time ago. Councillor Blom? Councillor Blom? Councillor Blom? Councillor Blom? Okay, Fiona, continue.
Yes, Speaker, through you. I am honestly not sure what to indicate. The municipal manager has broadly elaborated on the matter already. And with regard to implications, obviously, the Auditor General will look at what we've presented to Council to be written off based on the collection agency's reports. And, the reasons why you do not want to write off in terms of the policy of council. Perhaps that should just be clearly, noted in your resolution, or the reason why you refer it back to impact, that should be, clearly stated why you do not execute the policy that you've approved.
Thank you.
Speaker.
Councillor. Yes,
Speaker.
Councillor Swart, yes.
I will move that we go with the recommendation on this item. Thank you, Speaker.
Speaker.
Say seconder.
Speakers, I'm Lucky. I'm second proposal.
Thank you. Anybody against it? Can we
Speaker,
accept?
Speaker, we are not accepting. If I look at the list, there are names of people, and if you look at the amounts that we are referring to individually, something like 2,000, something like 7,000. Ceres Rail Company, I know them, they are in operation. Econo Farm are well known. So there's no way that we can just accept this. But you must also understand that if this is the way that the deputy mayor and his political party is dealing with the matters, then it will now force us as members of this council to go public, to go and tell the public, this is how you make decisions. You utilize your numbers, you bulldoze decisions, and you don't consider us.
Thank you, Councillor Steerman. Okay, then, can you just put off your... Thank you. Councillors, I've got no other choice but to take it to a vote. Karina, will you assist us here? Karina?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I will assist.
Thank you.
I just need to confirm that that it is a vote for or against the decision that is currently on your screens.
Yeah, the irrecoverable debt to be written off.
Yeah, in respect of paragraph A, B, and C. Okay, Madam Speaker, I will then continue with the vote as we have done in the past. And I will, in alphabetical order, just request the councillors to indicate their vote. If we can start with Councillor Blom.
It seems to me Councillor Blom got a problem. Councillor Blom, are you there?
He is in the meeting, Speaker. We will come back to him.
Okay.
Speaker, Councillor Blom has just indicated in the chat that he is for the recommendation.
Thank you.
Councillor Botswana is not here. Councillor Karinus.
Support.
Councillor Crombie.
Support.
Councillor Dummings.
Hello, yes, support.
Yes. Councillor Daniels.
I'm in support.
Councillor Du Plessis.
In support.
Support. Councillor De Tooy.
In support.
Councillor Fredericks.
Support, Karina.
Councillor Florence.
Support.
Councillor Hess. Cannot hear you, Councillor Hess. Cannot hear Councillor Hess. As you can please just indicate in the chat box. We will come back to you. Councillor Hubert.
I support.
Councillor Klaas. Councillor Klaas. No response. Councillor Landu.
I support, thank you.
Councillor Makwadzana. Councillor Makwadzana.
Support, Karina.
Support, thank you. Councillor Matjan.
Support, Karina.
Thank you. Councillor Alderman, the Speaker, Alderman Meyer.
Support, Karina.
Councillor Niels.
Ms. Lucky, I'm support.
Councillor Rankiso.
Support. I support.
Thank you. Councillor Ramugabi.
I support Karina.
Councillor Sambokwe. Councillor Sambokwe. No response. Councillor
Hello, Karina.
Is it Councillor Sambokwe?
Hello.
Yes.
No. No.
No. No, I've got it. Thank you. Councillor Sauerman.
I support.
Alderman Schierman.
I'm against, but I'm also asking for a declaration if any of the political parties getting any donation in future from these very same people.
Mr. Speaker, point of order, Mr. Speaker. My point, lack of order, is we like a busy with voting. Let's either say yes or no.
I just need to confirm, Alderman Schierman, it was against the recommendation. Thank you. Councillor Shabili. Councillor Smith.
Support, Karina.
Councillor Snyder says left the meeting. Councillor Steyn. Support. Councillor Swan.
Support, Karina.
Councillor Van Rooyen. Councillor Van Rooyen. We'll come back to him. Councillor Van Zyl.
In support, Karina.
Councillor Frolick.
Support, Karina.
Thank you. I will just go back to those councillors who did not respond. It's Councillor Hess. Can we hear whether Councillor Hess is online? There's no response from Councillor Hess. Councillor Klaas. No response from Councillor Klaas. Councillor Shabili. Shabili. There is no response from Councillor Shabili. And then lastly, Councillor Van Rooyen. No feedback. Madam Speaker, will you just allow us a minute to count the votes? Thank you.
Thank you, Karina.
Madam Speaker, while we are waiting, I want to reply, and I want to reply in Afrikaans on Councillor Forrest's statement. Daar is voorsiening in ons reglement dat 'n raadslid sy teenstem kan notuleer. En notuleer beteken ek kan motiveer hoekom ek my teenstem genotuleer wil hê. Dit is my volle reg om dit te doen. En dat ek basies sê, as ek na die lys kyk, dat sou daar in die toekoms blyk daar's 'n konflik van belange, dat hierdie besluit in konflik is met potensiële of vorige donateurs van enige politieke party wat deur die raad verteenwoordig is. Dit is die punt wat ek maak en dit is my teenstem.
Dankie Raad. Alderman.
Speaker, kan ons voortgaan?
Ja, ons kan seker maar aangaan.
Madam
ons kan
Speaker,
net-
you just, excuse me, Madam Speaker, you're just waiting for the results of the votes.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that before we go to the last point.
Yes. It is 23 councillors has voted in favour of the recommendation as is on the screen.
A, B, and C.
A, B, and C, and 2 councillors has voted against it.
Okay, then it carries. Thank you, Karina. Councillor, you've heard what Ms. Smith said. Raadslid Du Plessis.
Dankie, Speaker. Dankie, Speaker. U kan my hoor?
Ja, baie duidelik.
Dankie, Speaker. Weet jy, as ek so versigtig luister net na afhandeling, wil ek sê, die opmerking wat raadsheer Skuurman maak, klink baie of hy beweer dat die munisipaliteit byvoorbeeld gunste ontvang van sekere van die grondeienaars. En indien dit duidelik so is, dan wil ek voorstel dat hy op gevaarlike grond beweeg. Dankie, Speaker.
Of dit op
Speaker, julle maak mos 'n opname van hierdie vergadering. En ek sal herhaal vir die daar betrokke raadslid wat ek sê, sou dit blyk dat daar konflik van belange is en dat enige een van hierdie besighede wat se skulde afgeskryf word, dat hulle 'n donasie gee vir enige politieke party wat verteenwoordig op die raad is. Ek praat spesifiek van 'n politieke party. Sover dit my regte aanbetref, raadslid, wees baie seker daarvan, ek ken my regte as 'n raadslid en as 'n persoon. So, dit is die stelling wat ek gemaak het. Jy kan maar gaan luister na die oorkonde, ek verstaan wat dit gesê het.
Speaker, kan ons aangaan?
Asseblief, Speaker, kom ons gaan voort met die vergadering, asseblief. Dankie, Speaker.
Op ons laaste punt. Ons is by 15.6, consideration of recoverability of irregular and wasteful expenditure. Deputy, wil jy iets daaroor sê?
Yeah, but Speaker, can we immediately go to the recommendation, please?
Yes, we are there. The council considers the recoverability of irregularly. Kan jy 'n bietjie afkom? Karina, where's the English one? For consideration. That's okay. Additional cost incurred for trading without following adequate procurement processes. Practices be taken that no financial loss was suffered by the district municipality and there is no need to recover any expenditure. The irregular expenditure incurred be certified as recoverable and be written off by council.
Speaker?
Yes?
I will move that we go with the recommendation for this item. Thank you, Speaker.
Let me just hear, there's Reina Zili's hand is up. You may speak. Mr. Zili, you may speak. Mr. Zeely? Mr. Zeely? We must have lost him somewhere.
Madam
Okay.
Speaker,
please
he
continue.
lowered his hand again.
Please,
Okay.
please continue.
Okay, can we continue then? Can we get the seconder for the deputy speaker?
Yes,
Uh,
Speaker.
Yes, Speaker. Sorry, I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. Can we accept this
Yes, Speaker.
anonymously?
Yes,
Councillor,
Speaker.
you quite
Yes,
sure?
Speaker.
Speaker.
Yes, Linda, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm in support, Speaker.
Thank you. Okay, councillors, then bring us then by the conclusion of today's meeting. I want to say thank you all of you for your inputs. Although we disagree, at the end of the day, we agree with one another and we learn from one another. But I really want to make a suggestion. Please, when we have our council meeting, sit in a room where there's no music, there's no children. You know, it's frustrated when somebody talk and you can't hear, you just hear this music or children on the background. To the MM and the officials, I want to say thank you, Karina and Mr. MM, all the officials. Thank you for leading us into this council meeting. And to the Mako team, go well. To all the councillors, please stay safe. Stay safe, look after yourself. Let's lead by example. Wash your hands more often and stay indoors. Thank you and go well.
Vice Speaker. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker. Bye-bye, Alpha.
Thank you, Speaker.
Bye, Cleo.
Bye-bye, Alma.
Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker, and everyone. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Speaker.
Bye.
Everybody.
Deputy Speaker, collega's.
Bye-bye.